How's breakfast? So, yeah, we're entering into our final day of this families workshop. A little sad, but pretty good too. But to kind of start this day off, we're going to be doing some more testimonies. Last night, figured we didn't have enough, so we're looking for someone today. Yeah, these are going to be from alumni and different parents too. Kind of like a different perspective on the GPA year. And so, they all have, really different stories to share, like how they've been affected in different ways too. So the first testimony coming up, he's a really great brother. He was a third year on GPA last year. Really great person, really talented in many different ways. I really just want to welcome him up. He came here for a really long way, so please welcome up Hayato Takahashi.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I've given testimonies many times, but each time I give, I still get scared and nervous, so please bear with me. So yes, my name is Hayato Takahashi. With 3 years last year. And so I want to give a testimony, share with you guys how it's been like after GPA. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know how it's like, especially parents, how it's like for children after GPA. A little background about me is, so before I joined GPA, I was very against the church. I thought it was a cult. I thought true parents were like some weird Korean people, and I just didn't believe in God. I was a pretty major pothead and everything, so it was pretty bad where I came from. But for some reason, I decided GPA, and I somehow survived 3 years, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's just kind of like where I came from, and GPA helped me so much in my faith and finding out who God is to me in my life and who true parents are to me in my life. And my third year was actually my best year. I ended a really strong. I felt like I had this personal relationship with God and with true parents, and things were really, really great actually. But going out of GPA, going back home, it wasn't always so easy. It wasn't easy, and especially in the community that I was in. Even though I changed, the people around me didn't really change so much. So it was a little difficult, seeing like this difference between the way I believe and like, the way my values, how it was so different from back at home. And that was starting to get to me little by little. On GBI, I had so many great experiences, like from testimonies last night. I mentioned about forgiveness and like connecting with their parents, experiencing that forgiveness, right? I've experienced everything like that too, and it's just such an amazing feeling, and it's so inspiring actually. But when I was back at home, it was difficult to feel that way. On GPA, I felt so connected with God. It's like, oh, I understood God's heart. I understood true parents' heart. I understood their course and everything, and I committed to living my life centered upon God and true parents. But at home, it was so difficult. And I don't want to say this is scary, guys, just to help you prepare. But it was definitely a challenge, and painful because here I am I finished my third year, so I should be like the holiest man ever, right? My whole life should be like on point. And okay, every single day, wake up at 6:30. That didn't happen so often, so I'm sorry. But the worst part was like me feeling guilty. I felt so ashamed of myself. My negative negative side kicked in, and I was like, Hayato, come on, bro. You did 3 years of GPA, and here you are. You don't have this connection with God, or you don't feel God's heart anymore. You don't really feel the true parent's heart anymore. And it was tough because I felt so guilty and I felt so like unworthy of God's love, you know. And yeah, but luckily for me, I had a mentor, and I just really want to thank the Alumni Association for hosting this program and really like trying to help out graduates to make this transition. So I was blessed to have this able figure in my life that really took good care of me, and he actually did 3 years himself. So we were able to relate a lot, and so that really helped me. And you know, I decided that if I really want to cherish my life of faith, and if I'm really serious about my life of faith, my spiritual growth, I should do something to make it better. So I committed to moving to Las Vegas actually, because I know that community is thriving and it's filled with a lot of wonderful people, like Akira-san and Las Vegas Clark, and a lot of VCs that from my community actually moved there, and we wanted to create the support system, so we decided to move to Vegas together. And yeah, and the biggest thing was, what I realized was, God was always there with me, trying to comfort me. You know, Connor, right? Yeah, in Connor's testimony yesterday, I was really moved. You know, how he sat down on the curb and saying like, please God, I need some love, I need some guidance in my life, right? And I felt that. I was like, man, I really need some love and guidance. And that's exactly what God gave me. You know, God as a loving parent, he doesn't like seeing his children struggling and feeling a lot of pain. I wouldn't know because I'm not a parent yet, but I'm assuming that's what it is, right? So that's what I've heard. So yeah, and that's what I realized. Like that's like the God I know. This God, he doesn't like seeing me struggling. He doesn't like seeing me beating myself up every single day just because I don't feel God. And that's the case. You know, sometimes you're not gonna feel God, and you're gonna feel distant to God, and it is painful. But it's actually more painful for God to see that his child, having to struggle with that, right? So I've experienced so much love because of that. Looking back, I was guided so much, and having these like really deep and personal experiences with God on GPA is really what helped me to keep in touch with God and true parents. You know? And of course, you lose some of that many times, but what helped me, as I mentioned, mentor, in an environment, a really good environment to surround yourself with, and also some life of faith habits that I still hold to this day. I remember like totally can't reading guidance I went on it some time ago, and something is I connect a lot with is prayer. I pray. I started praying like every single day, just to show God like here I am, like I really want to connect to you, and this is my condition. I want to offer this up to you to show that I want your guidance in my life. I want you in my life. Yeah. So prayer has been so helpful, and another thing is gratitude. Like as cliche as it sounds, gratitude is so important. I know on GPA I took it for granted. It's like a lot of first years come up with the interval, be grateful, right? And I was just like, come on, that's so lame. Like, can't you do something like live for the sake of God and true parents, or love God and true, I always thought it was kind of a lame thing, but it's actually so important. Gratitude is so important. It's attitude of gratitude. So every morning I have this journal just for gratitude, and just to start off my day right. I just write 10 things I'm grateful for, and actually feel it, right? Sometimes we can just be like, oh, I want to get this over with, so I'm gonna just write 10 things I'm grateful for. Grateful for God, true parents, my life, right? But key is to really feel that, and sometimes it takes me 2 hours to feel grateful, and sometimes I feel like a sinner because like, oh, it took me 2 hours. Like, oh no. But that, yeah, gratitude is so important because it helps me to look at the positive things in my life. It's training my I guess my grateful muscle to look at things to be grateful for, right? And God is always giving us something to be grateful for. God is giving us so much blessing in our life, and it's just us having to be aware of that. So those 4 things really helped me off of GPA. And in fact, because of that struggle that I went through, I had to face myself again in a real way. You know, I don't have this GPA environment to support me, but some of these tools that GPA has given me is something that I cherish a lot and I go back to, and it's what helps me connect back to those experiences where I felt God's heart, where I felt God's love, God's forgiveness. And I just really want to let you guys know that it's going to be okay. You know, as scary as it sounds, it's actually not too bad. In fact, it's pretty nice. I really felt like my spiritual life has been growing ever since because of all these things I practice. So yeah, so I really hope that you guys can take this time on GPA to really personalize your relationship with God and true parents, because you're gonna go back to that, and that's gonna save you. That's been saving me so much recently, and just having these experiences to go back to where I felt God's love, where I felt God's forgiveness. That helped me to keep going and understand that God is always here with me, always here guiding me, always here loving me, always forgiving me no matter what happens. And ultimately, He is our Heavenly Parent that wants all of us, or even our parents, God wants them to feel happy and fulfilled. So yeah, that's a little bit of my experience after GPA. So thank you so much for listening to what I had to say.
Thank you, Hayato. So for our next testimony is another sister, or a sister that also did 3 years, and yeah, she has something really beautiful to share. So let's all give a warm welcome to Yoshika Iwamoto. Hi, good morning. So just a quick introduction. Sorry, actually, this is a quick introduction. My name is Yoshika Iwamoto. I'm the sister of the lovely brother who gave a testimony yesterday. I did 3 years of GPA from 2013 to 2016, so like Hayato, I'm a newer alumni. And so this testimony is about my experience being back at home and the tools that GPA gave me to overcome the obstacles that I was given. And so I want to start off with how I ended my year on GPA, my 3rd year. And I actually ended with a lot of gratitude. It was hard to get to that point because throughout the year I kept feeling really burnt out. And I know God is giving me a lot of love, but sometimes it's hard to notice that, right? I'm sure captains in 3rd years, you understand. But it took a lot of effort for me to get to the point where I could feel a lot of gratitude with where, you know, what I had gained and where I was at. It took a lot of prayer, it took a lot of reflection. And so yeah, ultimately in the end, I felt a lot of gratitude for what God had given me, because I understood that GPA had given me a point of view through which I could see that God was loving me constantly and that True Parents is loving me constantly. And what it gave me was tools to utilize so that I could continue to grow my life of faith throughout my life. And I came to recognize that, you know, GPA is not the thing that changed me. GPA doesn't really change you. It's your efforts and your utilization of these tools that you're given that ultimately changes your heart and changes your mindset and changes your attitude towards everything that you do. And so being able to end the year with this point and coming to understand what my points were and going back home, I decided to go back home for 3 main reasons. One, it's kind of superficial, but I wanted to go to nursing school and I had a really good scholarship. Second, I also wanted to invest into my family. I hadn't seen them for a long time, and my brothers and sisters really meant a lot to me. And then lastly, I wanted to help build up my community. And so with these 3 clear intentions, I decided to go back home. But reality it doesn't always match up with what you ideally want in your life, right? And I'm sure whether you do a 2nd year, a 3rd year, whether you're going back home and graduating this year, you'll find that to be true. God surprises you in all possible ways, and sometimes you just gotta take that and feel a lot of gratitude in that moment. But going home for me was a different experience because compared to GPA is really structured, and in a way it provides you with a recipe for growth. You know, as first years you report to your second years you report to your third years report to your commanders. There's a sense of accountability that's always there. You have a goal that you set, you work towards that goal. It's a very focused environment. The people around you are also working to grow themselves. It's in that way, it's a very simple process. It's a good environment to grow yourself. But home, I went home to Indiana. For those who have been there, it's a small community. We have maybe less than 10 youth left, and so our youth groups are really tiny. But